So in our last video, we talked about cutting tenons and cleaning them up with hand tools. I thought it was only fair to do one on cutting mortises too. My favorite way to cut mortises is with a plunge router and an edge guide. I have a 1/2 inch white side spiral bit in here, and it's not a cheap bit, but it's a good one, and it'll last us a long time, and it leaves a really nice clean cut. This creates a lot of dust. I have my router hooked up to my shop vac. Rockler's got a small hose port kit that works wonderful for this. I already have my depth set from previous mortises I cut. I already have my edge guide set, so I'm not going to undo those and redo it because I know they're where I want them. So we'll get started. So that should be plenty deep. One thing about cutting this with a router is that you always have these rounded edges right here. Let me unsecure my workpiece here and show you. You can't see it, but we have this clamped down with a hand screw clamp to our workbench. These curves we cut in these posts made it hard to use our traditional vise. But this leaves rounded cuts right here on our cheeks. So once we get them cut, we have two options. We can either square these up or we can round the edges of our tenons. It's a little bit more work, but I'm going to go ahead and square these up. I'll use my chisels for these. My 1/4 inch and my 1/2 inch. The good thing about these Narek chisels is they're actually metric sized, so it makes them just slightly smaller. And it helps us get it inside of our mortise without having to cut any more material than we want to. I really like to incorporate hand tools into my work whenever I can. Sometimes I think it makes a better product. But I think with me, it helps me get better connected to what I'm making. It lets me put a little bit of me inside these projects. And I guess it's kind of like anything else in life. You give it all you got, and you leave it all out there. And putting hand tools in it really helps me make that more abundant. It really helps me to better connect. Nothing like a good sharp chisel to clean these out. Now we'll unplug our router and we'll take this shop vac hose off of it and use it to clean this debris out. Now it's a little hard to see, but that leaves us a nice squared mortise. And now we'll clean up our tenons and hopefully get a good fit. We may have to come back and trim a little bit more out, but that's okay. I'd rather leave these a little bit small and clean them up later as to compromise my part here and possibly have to redo it. Thank you.